Welcome to Mormon Book Reviews, where an evangelical encounters the restoration. I'm your host, Steven Pynakker. So, this book I'm about to read or review is a very interesting one. It comes from Signature Books, which I know not all faithful Mormons are fans of this publisher. You gotta understand, I'm an outsider, so I just read whatever's out there, you know. And my whole philosophy about studying the restoration has always been to look for people that don't have a dog in the fight. So, like, I would never rarely, if I wanted to actually learn anything about Mormonism, I didn't put a whole lot of weight on what anti-Mormons were saying. And I recognize that when there's faithful stuff out of there, I understand it's faithful. But as an outsider, that doesn't speak to you quite the same. So when you go to, like, quote-unquote neutral sources, and I know all won't agree with this, when you go to a more scholarly approach, I find that also can be very beneficial to learn about various things as well. It's kind of like looking at Consumer Reports, you know, on some level. Now, this book, The Prophet Puzzle, is various essays regarding the prophet Joseph Smith. It's written by, like, Jan Ships, who's a outsider, a Gentile, but is well regarded within the academic community and amongst Mormons as well. Dan Vogel's in there. I know that he's a controversial person, but the next one after him is by Richard L. Bushman. Those both wrote a biography of Joseph around the same time in the mid-2000s. You have many professors from BYU that contributed to this publication, and it is just a really good book because it gives you a well-rounded picture of the prophet Joseph Smith. Now, I know it's somewhat controversial because it is that particular publisher, and I understand that. So if you're a faithful Mormon, maybe I won't give you a recommendation if it's something that you think there would be things in this book that would bother you. But if you're somebody who really is interested in church history and, like, wants to get to know Prophet Joseph Smith from a different perspective, I kind of look at it this way. There are really good books out there about Muhammad, books out there about Jesus written from outsider perspectives. One is a famous book that was written by a Muslim, wrote a book about Jesus. And so it's always interesting to see things from the eyes of an outsider. So as a Christian, I'm not threatened by that. I find it interesting, and sometimes they can shed new light on the subject that you weren't expecting. And so I like that. And I think that, Latter-day Saints and faithful Mormons should at least consider taking that as a possibility and going down that path as well, if that's what you choose to do. And I think this book would be a worthy endeavor to pursue. So either way, I'm going to give you my official review. The Prophet Puzzle. This book is an example of good scholarship interacting with an important religious figure. From faithful scholars to religious skeptics, the variety of authors gives a good, well-rounded, secular assessment of the man. This kind of work is important because it allows the reader to assess people like Muhammad, Moses, and Joseph from an outsider's perspective. If this book is viewed in the right light, it can be very beneficial to help inform and strengthen your faith. If you're a skeptic of religion, this would serve as a good introduction to the man, along with reading some faithful literature to balance things out. I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. I give it a 4 out of 5 because I know that there are some faithful Mormons, and I know I have the spectrum of Mormonism and the Restoration are watching my channel. And this kind of book is going to be challenging to some, and if you're not ready to do it, that's fine. But this is what this book review channel is. Anything that even just has the word Mormon in it qualifies to be reviewed by me. And that's just how open I'm going to be about it. And I'm going to give you my perspective. So even like when I do anti-literature, you'll also hear my perspective on that and try to shine light on it. And where, like, when an evangelical says bad things about you guys in a book, I can shed light on the perspective that they're coming from to give you a better understanding as well. The key thing is about bringing understanding to our movements. It's been over 200 years that the evangelicals and the Mormons have been fighting each other. And I think it's time that we just start backing off and start dialoguing with each other, which is what this channel is all about. So once again, The Prophet Puzzle, I'm going to give a link in the description to this book. I think it's well worth the read, and I heartily recommend it. I just want to remind you to like and subscribe and check the links in the description for the book, and you guys have yourself a great day.